BMW calls the CEO2 an eParkourer and leans heavily on skateboarding imagary, but look past the cringy marketing and there's no denying that the decision to create a concept bike for the showroom is a more appealing approach than just another cookie-cutter electric scooter. When it comes to appealing to young urban riders, it's an approach that might just pay off, provided there are enough customers out there who are prepared to stump up the steep £7,450 cost of entry. The motor is an air-cooled, synchronous current design that puts out a peak 15 horsepower at 5,000 revolutions per minute in the full power version of the CEO2. That's bang on the limit for learner-legal bikes, but BMW doesn't take advantage of the loophole that allows electric learner bikes to be more powerful than their petrol equivalents. Officially, electric bikes are rated at their continuous maximum power, a number that can be sustained for extended periods without overheating, rather than their outright maximum. The CEO2's rated continuous power figure is 6 kilowatts 8 horsepower. As usual for electric bikes, the torque figure is much more impressive than the power, peaking at 55 newtons, from 0 revolutions per minute to 1,000 revolutions per minute. From there, torque decreases as power rises, until the motor runs out of steam at 6,700 revolutions per minute. The standard 15 horsepower version of the bike has 2 batteries, each 48 volts and rated at 196 kilowatt hours, which can be removed for maintenance but aren't intended to be swapped out to give an instant range boost. Between them, the battery and motor combination offer a top speed of 59 miles per hour, with a 0-31 miles per hour acceleration of 3 seconds dead, and a range of more than 90 kilometers under WMTC conditions. Riders who want to use the CEO2 on a moped license can opt for a restricted power version that peaks at 5 horsepower with a continuous rating of 4 horsepower. It uses just one battery, reducing weight from 132 kg to 119 kg. In this form, the top speed is 45 km per hour to match the legal limit for mopeds, and range drops to 45 km. On the plus side, the single battery means charging times are reduced, but you can't combine the moped version of the CEO2 with the Highline option package and quick charger. The transmission is a 2-stage belt drive. One belt takes drive from the motor to an intermediate shaft, concentric with the swing arm pivot, that transfers power from the right-hand side of the bike to the left-hand side. From there, another toothed belt drives the rear sprocket. As standard, the CEO2 gets 2 riding modes, and BMW follows its slightly irritating form, established with the R18 Cruiser, of using cutesy names for them instead of ones that describe what they do. So there's no sport or street mode, but instead you choose from flow or surf. Flow is the standard urban setting with soft throttle response and medium energy recuperation, which equates to engine braking. Surf is a more dynamic setting with zero energy recuperation to allow maximum coasting, plus a more direct throttle response. Frustratingly, you have to splash out on the Highline option package to get a third mode flash, which approximates a sports setting. On the chassis side, the CEO2 uses a steel double loop frame with upside-down forks at the front and a single-sided swing arm to the rear. It's a tiny machine, less than 2 meters from end to end, and with a compact 1353mm wheelbase, so the forks are fairly slim 37mm units. At the rear, a monoshock is directly connected between the swing arm and frame. There's no rising rate linkage, and it has the only element of adjustability in the form of a movable spring base to alter preload. The rake is 24.5 degrees, promising sharp steering in combination with that short wheelbase, and the wheels are tiny 14 inches shod in 120/80ths rubber at the front, and a wide-looking 150/70ths tire at the back. There's automatic stability control and recuperative stability control to make sure you don't lose traction under acceleration or when you close the throttle. There's a single disc at each end, 239mm at the front, 220mm at the rear, combined with a 2-pot front caliper and single piston version at the back. ABS is standard, but it only operates on the front brake. Weight is 132 kg for the standard dual battery version, and 119 kg for the restricted moped spec model with a single battery. When it comes to rider comfort, the tiny proportions of the CEO2 mean the seat is a low 750mm, so nobody is likely to have much trouble reaching the ground. Unusually, the bike is designed so when you're riding alone, you have the choice of putting your feet forwards on a front set of foot pegs for a scooter-like riding position, or moving them back to the rear foot pegs to get a sportier stance. When there's a passenger, those rear pegs are theirs, so you're stuck with the front ones. Of course, with no gear shift to worry about and both brakes mounted on the bars, there are no foot controls to worry about. When it comes to economy, the CO2 power consumption is rated at less than 6 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers, giving a range in excess of 90 kilometers for the dual battery version and 45 kilometers for the single battery model.